Hey, it's Evan. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful 8 podcast. I am grateful to be back speaking to the camera. It is February 1st, 2025. This is the first video of the new year, the first of many videos that will be recorded this year. And in today's episode, we're talking about awakening to our shared reality. In 2025, the entire world is going to wake up to the fact that we all share this reality through our individual perception of reality. This is something that I've come to learn and something that I've come to understand. And now my vessel is serving as a bridge of helping people go from an old paradigm consciousness to a new paradigm consciousness. My level of awareness has been greatly evolved, ego to the side over time. And I've realized that I really am a conduit for helping people come to this awareness, helping people see a certain side of themselves. I've realized that my true life purpose is to evolve humanity through 0 point technology. And that's a different business model that I'm building in the background right now. But the number one thing that I'm always going to be focusing on is talking to the camera. Like this is my passion. This is why I was born to my father, who was the cameraman. And it's in my power to carry on that legacy of talking to the camera and documenting my life at 22 years young, and my life with family and friends and building business and entrepreneurship and expanding the mind, spirituality, esoteric living. But I really wanted to briefly get on here because February 1st was always going to be this start date for me returning to recording long form videos again. My YouTube has always been the platform of choice for me to be my most raw and authentic self, and that's not going to change. That's always going to be truth. And I'm doing a deep dive on where we've been, where we are now, and essentially where we're going. Where we've been is a dark age, if you will, that has been filled with students of the light, warriors of the light, carrying on this newfound energy, entering into a new age, a golden age, if you will, which is what you hear a lot in media now. It may be skewed, but a golden age is really what we're heading into right now. We are leaving this dark age, and that's where we've been. We've been suppressed from certain technologies, certain ways of living, levels of awareness. Our evolution has been suppressed to no fault of our own. And that's where we've been. Where we are now is really on the precipice of, two timelines to pursue. And it's really transhumanism and it's transcendence. It's when you take a step back and you slow down and you allow yourself to not be distracted from all external influence, you realize that there truly are two timelines that we're pursuing as a collective, where we kind of transcend our ego and we go from carbon-based beings to silica-based beings, where we really don't live with any ego, we don't live with any fear, we don't care for money and power and control. We care for the planet because the planet and us are one, right? One day we won't speak in terms of humanity. It'll just be Earth. It'll just be Mother Gaia. That's where we're heading. And people are going to start waking up to that. They're going to start remembering that. There will be an event this year, if there hasn't been one already, that people will kind of take a step back and realize, oh my goodness, we really do have to take care of the planet. We really have to take care of Earth. People are going to come to that awareness. So on the transcendence side of it, we remind ourselves of the divinity that's actually within, and we transcend our ego and we start building a future that's going to be ideal for our children and the generations that follow. A life of harmony, of joy, of freedom, of peace. And that's where the 0 point technology comes in, which is something that I'm going to be really excited to dive deep on this YouTube. I have so many brilliant ideas that I'm going to breathe life into this year. And that's why I've kind of been ghost on YouTube. I've been still on different platforms, but like really going within and uncovering what that self-actualization is really meant to do here in this lifetime. If you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I've always just been in survival mode. I got to eat, I gotta drink water. I gotta go earn a buck to provide for my basic needs. And after fasting and meditation and slowly but surely getting into yogic practices, I've realized that those are all distractions. Like, yeah, we need that to sustain ourselves, but what matters most is that self-actualization, the desire to be the most that one can be. And when I came to that awareness, that was 0 point energy and technology, which is where we've been. That's that energy, that technology has been around for over 100 years now, right? It's ancient civilizations, Tartaria, all these societies that came before and went kind of ghost, if you will, went dark. They were leveraging these technologies, and it was to free humanity. We don't worry about currency. We don't worry about the US dollar, oil and gas, coal, all these scarce resources, because we have an abundant energy source that we pull from the ether, we pull from the quantum vacuum, and that's what 0 point energy and technology really gets into. So that's where we've been, right? During the Cold War, that was suppressed. Metaphysics was suppressed during the Cold War, which is a branch of physics that goes into God consciousness, and that's where transcendence really tie into 0 point technology, because it's two sides of the same coin. It's the same thing. It's understanding that everything we want is within, that the power is within, and we can harness this technology to power our homes, our cars, instantaneous travel, all these things that you would see in Star Trek or a Marvel movie exists, right? Because it's imagination, it's pulled from the ether. That's where ideas come from. They come from black holes, and we breathe life into it, into the physical realm. So that's where we've been. Where we are now is understanding transcendence or transhumanism. Transhumanism is what a lot of these tech moguls, which I'm kind of interested in learning more about what their plan really is for transhumanism. It's essentially this apocalyptic feel where, we're on a collision course that we're not going anywhere. Humans, we will be the cause of our own extinction. So let's just let it happen and essentially be one with technology. Transhumanism, Neuralink chip in the brain, RFID chips. We shouldn't want that. We should realize that that's not ideal. So that's the transhumanism side of it, which is where technology and humans kind of come together. I don't believe that that's a course that's going to be good for us. I think that'll lead to an extinction level event. So let's focus on transcendence, where we harness 0 point technology and we use it for the greater good to free humanity, to allow us to do what our highest calling is, to live intuitively, to live healthy and long lives, to slow down and understand what it is we're meant to do here. So that's where we are now. We're on the precipice of, okay, there really are two timelines, transcendence or transhumanism, and what you do with your time, energy, and attention is in support of those two timelines. Believe it or not, that could be false, but I wholeheartedly believe that, right? And my voice is the greatest potential that I can pursue, so I'm going to speak out on these types of things now going into 2025. So I'm excited. February 1st, 2025, we're talking about it now. So that's where we are now. And where we're going is essentially, we're kind of shedding off layers of this dark age. That's what you see a lot geopolitically across the world. There is a certain power structure that's essentially dwindling, and it's evolving, and it's really trying to keep that power and control that has been instilled since the early 1900s and previously before that. And it's really based on scarce resources, oil, gas, the debt infused dollar. So you see that power structure kind of evolving, de-evolving, if you will, and birthing something new, which is where 0 point energy and technology comes in. Cryptocurrency, decentralization, energy, AI. So we really have to tread lightly, right, and use these brilliant resources that came from our own imagination for the greater good. And that's where we're going. So it's 2025 right now. There's big agendas for 2030. disclosure is happening this year, if it hasn't happened already. Breakaway civilizations that have been leveraging reversed craft, downed craft that harnesses 0 point energy. So all that is being disclosed this year, and going into 2026 and 2027, that'll be a lot more apparent. So a lot's going to happen, and that's why I'm slowing down furthermore to understand where it is we're actually going, because in the next 5 years, we are going to really evolve as a species. It's going to be weird. It's going to be chaotic, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to birth something really beautiful. So that's why it's of the utmost importance to live intuitively and go within. And that's really where we're headed. So this has been an episode on awakening to our shared reality. We shape our world because we are Mother Gaia. We are the earth. Humanity and the earth are one. It's one collective consciousness. So we've been shaping our collective consciousness in a very definite way for a very long time. And it is the way it is because of our individual perception of reality. But once we come to that awareness, we start to awaken to our shared reality, how all our individual thoughts shape the collective consciousness. So if we all start thinking about how 0 point energy and technologies will free humanity, that'll start to manifest. So everything that we individually believe and perceive manifests into this greater collective. And that's where we're headed. So I'm super excited to be back. Felt very called to this episode. A lot happening in the world, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's birthing something new. Really felt called to speak to the camera, and I'm grateful that I did. I'm back posting daily again, and I love you, my beautiful soul on the other side of this camera. Thank you for following me on this journey. I love you dearly. I love you dearly. I love you dearly. Have a beautiful day.